After October 7th, this has been known to be the Nova Music Festival massacre grounds. The months have changed. You're not going to see here the things that we saw on October 8th and October 9th and November and even December, okay? The months have changed, but I am telling you that the memory is still scarred in all of the first responders' brains and in their noses. We were here for weeks and the stench of death was in the air. This was the grounds where the Nova Music Festival was taking place. Approximately 3,000 partygoers from all ages, from all over the world, different countries, different religions, different backgrounds. They came to have a great time, okay? On the morning of October 7th, there was approximately 40 police officers, together with private security, that were managing the Nova Music Festival. The police were here in order to maintain order. Kids were obviously going to be drinking. We didn't want any fights. We wanted to stop drugs. That's what the police were meant to do here. The private security was there to break up any fights. The police had a stand right where that tent is set up over there. We call it Chapak Shetach, a mobile command unit. We had some first aid. We had police medics, things like that. Everything was normal. Approximately 6:30 in the morning, when the rockets start coming in, all you see here, everywhere, not just right here, behind you, everything you see here, down there, as far as you can see, was filled with tents, was filled with kids, was filled with partygoers, and different stages, different bars that were set up, people having a great time. The rockets were coming in. In the beginning, they didn't even hear the rockets. You're at a music festival with loud music, with different DJs, people are drinking, maybe other things. And as the rockets are coming in, the police see it. They get over the radio. They hear that there's a security situation going on down the street. And they decide we're shutting down the party. They go over to the DJ. They cut the music. They start trying to gather everybody. And it's taking a little bit of time. Because like I said, people are under the influence. People are sleeping. People were sleeping here from the night before. And this is 6:30 in the morning. They're trying to get people into their cars. Where you guys came in from was filled with cars. That lot, there was not even any place to move. The road that you came in on, Road 232, was lined up with cars from people who walked over and left their car out there. As the police are getting people into their cars, people start making their way out to the road, and you have a left to Kibbutz Be'eri, and you have a right to Kibbutz Re'im. For those that don't know, Kibbutz is a residential community, okay, like the one we were just in Kfar Aza. As they're going, there starts to be congestion on both sides. Cars start coming back. There starts to be noises of gunfire, and the police quickly understand what's taking place. The police run down, try to understand. People are coming to the mobile command center with bullet wounds, and they quickly gather real fast what's happening. They understand it's a terror attack. So half of the officers are trying to gather all the people from this entire area, almost 3,000 people, and find a way to get them out of here. That's not the main road. The other half of the police officers run down to that road, and they start battling the terrorists who have set up checkpoints on both sides, congesting the road, bottlenecking anyone trying to escape to safety. The people who did make it to safety, from the videos that you saw of people running and seemed like a desert, were the people who just ran straight. They ran straight through the desert. Not really a desert, but it's like dirt like this that's used for agriculture. They ran for as far as they could, and the terrorists were too busy killing the people who are right here, like fish in a barrel. We're standing essentially on a cemetery. While they're not buried underneath these images here, you have to understand that real people lost their life right here. And when the terrorists arrived, they didn't ask what religion they were. They didn't care what gender or what age. They just started spraying bullets indiscriminately, anything that moved. I told you there were bars set up. There was refrigerators, coolers. People were hiding inside of those. They killed them in there. There was the bathroom set up, just like I saw bathrooms somewhere around here, the mobile porta potties. People were hiding inside of there. When the tactical unit of the police first came here, they opened up the door. One of them was filled with bodies. There's Hamas video that they took with their own GoPro cameras and uploaded to their own Telegram and WhatsApp channels of them spraying bullets, making sure that they killed whoever was inside of these. This is where you are right now. Kfar Aza, it's residential communities. They came, they infiltrated, they attacked. It's almost like an invasion of a military offense. Here, what was there, maybe 20 officers left that were fighting back, trying to save 3,000? There's a story of Officer Zinger, who I met October 9, 10, 11, I don't even remember, all times lost from those beginning days. I met him in the hospital as he's sitting there. He was working here an off-duty shift. And he said, when I got to the road, I saw there were terrorists. There was nowhere to go. I opened up my phone, opened up Google Maps, and I found that there's a service road that leads around, and it takes us to Netivot. I started yelling at people to get into their cars. I got on the megaphone of the police patrol car and told people to follow me. And he's going through a road just like this with the dirt going up in the air, and he's explaining to me that when he looked in the mirror, he said, I felt like I was leading the Jews at the exodus of Egypt. The chaos, the screaming, the terrorists coming after us. That's what he felt in that same minute. He got them to the Netivot police station. He didn't go home to his 3 sons. He left a voice note, a WhatsApp voice note to his eldest son of 3. And he said, listen, I don't know what's going on. It's really bad. There's terrorists. I need to go back. There's more people to bring out of there. Take care of your mom. Do not tell her that I sent you this message. His wife is sitting right next to him in the hospital room. And she's crying, half laughing, wants to slap him. She says, look at who my husband is. And her husband is also crying. And I'm like, Iga, why are you crying? You're a hero. I said, no, I'm not a hero. I went back, and I didn't make it back to the Nova Festival. I got stopped at the Reim Junction. There was a group of police officers. Their car had been blown up, and they were on the side of the road fighting for their life. I got out of the car, and I tried to help them, but my entire lower body was shot. And they had to take care of me. And he felt so guilty that he couldn't come back here and save more lives. He felt so guilty that the officers there had to take care of him as they're trying to shoot the terrorists that are taking over Kibbutz Reim. And so his wife, Mila, she tells me, this is my husband. And you can see that as much as she's angry with him, she's so proud of him. And that's the story of the Israel police. The story of Officer Rema, who's a Bedouin police officer that was also working here. He took a car, his car was blown up. He took somebody else's car and starts taking civilians as far as possible where other civilians are waiting with minibuses, transferring, basically doing a transfer. Filling his car up, taking them, coming back, filling, coming back. Until 1:30, 2 o'clock, until the IDF arrived here. It was only the Israel police and civilians with handguns battling terrorists. Terrorists had planned this so meticulously. The first line of defense, where all the army bases, the forward observation bases are, they were taken over. There were soldiers killed in their sleep. There were soldiers killed in their boxers that got out trying to fight. The stations where the cameras are set up in order to notify the observers were taken out with drones. All the communications were down. Don't forget that this was just here, but what about the other 22 communities where officers were also fighting, where soldiers were fighting? What about I told you guys about Parash Pareshet, the order of the Israel Police Commission, the Southern District Commander, to shut down the southern border. They stopped it from getting to Tel Aviv. That also took officers. And these officers, imagine, because I know I was standing there that morning listening to the police radio of the officers giving their last wish to their families. These officers who are fighting side by side, trying to get civilians out, are hearing their best friends die, are hearing last wishes, and they know they could be next. So in the very beginning, I told you guys, there's a whole nother side to this that's less spoken about, and it's understandable why some people might not get it, and it's understandable why it's also not in the frame, because the story is of the hostages, the story is of the fallen, the almost 400 that were fallen right here. But the story of us, the story of Israel, is the story of resilience. It's the story of the heroes that did fight back, that are keeping the promise of never again. Never again is not a one-time thing, hit or miss, no. It's a constant promise, always. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what you guys are doing here.